It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
All right, Carl has a question. He says, my wife has been self-employed for the last few years. So we've been taking advantage of the solo 401k.
Love it.
Now she will be a W-2 employee without access to retirement accounts other than IRAs. What other options do we have? What do you guys think?
So, so she was self-employed. So she's doing the solo, and now she's a W-2. And they don't have access. He said they don't have any access to like a retirement plan there.
I was thinking like employer sponsored.
Yeah,
That's what
great.
it sounds like.
It's not uncommon. A lot of people do that. One of the things, I think I'll hit some low-lying fruit first. Depending on your income, there still is the opportunity to do just traditional IRAs, right? You can just contribute either to traditional IRA and get a pre-tax benefit there, or you can do a Roth IRA. If your income allows, but it's based on, do you have access to retirement plans, either one of you, and then where your income is affects the deductibility. But let's assume that's out. Let's assume they can't do that, Brian. So Carl said, hey man, I don't have a way to save for retirement. What should I do? What's the next step?
It's easy enough. I feel like the crowd is going to be upset if we don't throw this reference out there. The financial order of operations, of course. You go out there, moneyguy.com/resources. We have the 9 steps of the financial order of operations. And look, this thing is designed in a way that if you work for an employer that doesn't offer a match, you're just not going to have a step 2. You can skip from step 1 to step 3 to make sure the credit card debts are paid off. Step 4, make sure your emergency reserves are covered. And then you look and say, hey, okay, Roth, HSA, and Roth IRAs, I need to load those up. That hits you perfectly, Carl. Look at your income. If you can fund it, look at the HSA, look at the Roth IRA. And then number 6, max out retirement. You obviously don't have access to a 401k on your wife's side. So that's going to lead to, you'll get to step 7, which is hyperaccumulation. You think about your 3-bucket strategy. Load up that after-tax account. That's a joint brokerage account, an individual brokerage account. You can invest in after-tax accounts too, still to get to that 25% savings and investment rate.
Now, Carl, let me give your wife a little bit of career advice. Now, you got to do this one delicately, right? You got to really think through this. But let's say that she works for a small business, and there's a W-2 that she's getting, so she's an employee of this business. And they don't have an employer-sponsored retirement plan. Maybe I wouldn't do this on my first day of work, but as you kind of get to know people and you talk with them, wouldn't it be interesting if she approached her superiors, her employers, her coworkers, whoever, and said, hey, I was listening to this awesome show, The Money Guy Show, and they were touting how amazing a 401k could be. And I think they've gotten a lot less expensive than they used to be a number of years ago. And now there's even these things called safe harbors. I heard that they are amazing benefits for the employer, for the boss, for the folks who own the company. They're a really amazing place to legally hide money from the government. Would it be helpful if I did some research on that? Maybe found some low-cost providers? Is that something that maybe would benefit the company? If it was, I'd be happy to take that on. But if not, no worries. If you can approach it that way, you might be amazed that your boss is, oh, you know what, I've been meaning to do that, but I keep putting it in the back burner because I've got this going on and that going on and this going on. There's nothing wrong with being an advocate for your own benefits program so long as you do it tactfully and respectfully and in a way that doesn't just benefit you, but actually benefits the entire organization.
Well, Carl brings up an employer that doesn't even offer a benefit, and I think it's great to be an advocate, but a lot of you are probably in plans that are just been around for a long time, don't offer Roth contributions. That just is a matter of that your employer didn't modernize the plan, or maybe you have an employer that they refund you money every year because you make too much and you put too much in and then they refund it back. That means that probably this plan could have been modernized with that safe harbor provision that keeps that type of stuff with highly compensated happening. There are things that go be an advocate. Exactly what Bo said. It doesn't have to be just a Carl type situation where it's you have it or you don't have access. There's ways for you to advocate being better at saving and investing. And look, and it's on your employer's benefit. They have a fiduciary obligation to make sure the government is taking this serious these days and wanting people to step up, show us that this plan that's set up is in the best interest of your employees. Tell your employer they need to make sure they're taking that responsibility very seriously.